most outstanding things about Patty Meritt's nomination was all the testimonials from students about how much they valued her teaching and her advice. And so she always goes the extra mile for students. When students are at a distance, she'll make special accommodations for them. In the nomination packet, it was mentioned that when a student in Togue needed a last course to graduate, Patty rolled her into the classroom in the video conference equipment, so she was able to be there in a virtual way. So I'll go into a little more length, though, on Patty's many accomplishments. Ms. Patty Martinez Meritt has been an outstanding University of Alaska Fairbanks faculty member since 1986. She is beloved by her students for her unstinting support of the individual academic and professional goals and for inspiring them to excellence through her own commitment to the field of early childhood education. Ms. Meritt developed curriculum and many instructor resources for both the Early Childhood Education AAS and the Child Development and Family Studies BA programs. More recently, she has made the Early Childhood Education program available entirely online, providing access for students across Alaska and beyond. She is co-author of a widely used textbook, Constructive Guidance and Discipline, Birth to Age 8. Ms. Meritt has provided extensive community and professional outreach through workshops and presentations. So would Patty Meritt please come forward?
She said I could make a few remarks, and they told me ahead of time. So anybody who knows me knows that I came prepared with a couple of sheets. I was going to have visuals and have the grandkids come up and hold signs, and I was going to have all of you participate, and then I thought, wait, this is a reception, not a class. Okay, keep it short. So, first I have to have a disclaimer. The disclaimer is I'm not a doctor. Some of the announcements went out saying Dr. Patty Meritt. Somebody advanced my credentials beyond my actual achievements, so thank you, but I want to set the record straight. Most importantly to me is to give sincere thanks to the Usibelli family. Putting the money to this award is really the old adage, putting your money where your mouth is. And the honor is wonderful, but part of what makes this so valued is the dollars that are behind it. And sincere thanks to that. And if you haven't done the math, 27 years, 3 awardees, $10,000 each, $810,000 to faculty from the Usibellis.
That's a lot.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Now, isn't it boring when people get up and they want to thank everybody? I think so. But really, there are just too many people to thank. I have to thank the people who nominated me and the people who supported me and the administration and my colleagues in the community as well as at the university and the Sunday school families, some of whom are here. But there is one group of people that have helped me become an outstanding teacher, and they're here today. And that's because they have allowed the ECE students into our intimate family life. And that's my husband and my kids and my grandkids. Because my husband's a videographer, and he takes clips of our family and our children growing. And I use all those clips in the classes. And that's what the students say they most appreciate. Not only seeing children grow, but seeing how our family interacted with children. So I have to thank them for that. Also, my son Paul gave me a great honor at Christmas. He's way in the back, probably holding a baby. And he gave me a book. It's called The Courage to Teach. And in it, he wrote this great inscription in the beginning about how he loves his life and he loves his family and he loves being a teacher himself. And at the end, he ended it by saying, "You've been my best, first, and longest teacher." Well, you know, that's good for Mom's heart. But I have to say to Paul, I couldn't have done it without you. I have a long history with the Usibelli Award. I was first nominated in 2004, 2005, 13 years ago, and again the next year. And both of those nominations were by students. And I was so proud that they came from students. And then for 6 years, I kind of followed the awards. I did some of the statistics. I I provided some feedback on the way the system was, and actually they changed the process for how they did the committee selection. And as a result, some different people, I think, were selected for some of those awards. I also served on the committee, and I know that that process to narrow down from so many qualified people can be daunting. And in many ways, it's a little bit like a roll of the die. It depends upon who else is nominated and who's on the committee and exactly how you document your work. So many people get nominated many times. I was at one of these where the person said, "Just don't give up." Beginning in 2012, I was nominated again, and for 5 straight years, I received a letter reminding me what an honor it is to be nominated, but I wasn't selected. During that time, I attended most of the award ceremonies, so I've sat through a few receptions like this, and I always had some questions about the people. And I thought, well, I could answer 3 of those questions for you today. First one is, why was I selected? And I think the provost kind of covered that. I was going to say, ask the committee. I have taught a lot of classes, over 350 of them, everything from 100 to 500 level, and I've done some substantial program development. But most importantly, I think, is all the people who supported me to be here. And also Charlie Dexter, who wouldn't let me drop out of the process. Because, you know, after you've asked people for 5 straight years, would you write a letter? It's sort of hard to ask that. And last year I said to him, "That's it, Charlie, I'm not doing this anymore." And he kind of corralled me and he said, "You know what the opposite of success is? It's not failure, it's quitting." So I said, okay, 1 more year, and thank you, Charlie. The 3 questions. That's why I was selected. The second one is, what are you going to do with the money? Don't you wonder that, and you kind of don't think you should ask? Well, Uncle Sam gets his share, and then I'll tithe some for God's work to people. I'm very proud to be a member of the Rotary Club, and many of my fellow members are here today. And for about 30 years, Rotary has been working on eradicating polio worldwide, and we're really, really close now. In 2016, there were about 37 cases worldwide. 2017, about 22 cases worldwide. So far this year, 3 cases, and only in 2 countries. The thing is, a country has to be polio-free for 3 years. So there's still work to be done there, and that's where my charitable contribution from this gift will be going. The rest is yet to be determined, but the grandkids are lobbying heavily for another trip to Fly, the trampoline park. And lastly, 3rd question, how will this change my life? This answer comes from my pastor, Eric Johns at Bethel Church, who is here over by the door. He's standing to make a getaway in case I say something embarrassing. The Sunday after I received the phone call, before I was allowed to talk about getting the award, Pastor Eric was preaching from 2 Peter, and he talked about times when we're conferred with a new status. And he said we're challenged to grow into that status. I am acutely aware that I'm only the 7th woman to be selected for this teaching award, and that I'm the first one whose profession is an educator, not a scientist who became a teacher, but a teacher. So instead of thinking this as a culminating award, I see it as a new standard in my life, a rejuvenation to teach living up to being a Usibelli Distinguished Outstanding Teacher. And I'm going to strive to be the best teacher I can with every class and every lesson in every setting. So I thank you for the opportunity, and I'm so honored to be selected among so many distinguished teachers. Thank you.